Hello everyone, my name is Sidonia Mado and I'm joining you today to speak about the ingress of Lilith in the sign of Libra. So what happens when the rebellious energy of Lilith enters the peaceful and harmonic and diplomatic sign of Libra? This is what we are going to find out. First, I will be explaining the meaning of Lilith in astrology. Then we will be exploring the possible effects and significations of Lilith in Libra. Astrologically speaking, Lilith is a mathematical fictional calculated point that astrologers calculated, representing the farthest point that the moon goes in its elliptic around the earth. This point is known for activating all our suppressed feelings and emotions. So why to call this fictional point, this point that brings these emotions to the storefront, Lilith, or more correctly, Black Moon Lilith? Well, in order to understand that, we need to look at the legend of Lilith. Lilith, as legend says, was the first wife of Adam, and opposite to Eve, Lilith was created from the same earth that Adam was. So Lilith was created by God, technically as Adam's equal. However, along the way, either by God's order, either by Adam's desires and design, Lilith was said that she should be submissive and subservient to Adam, and because of that adopt a lower position to Adam, to be beneath him, even in sexual act. Lilith obviously rebelled against these demands, and she ran away from the Garden of Eden. So the same way this legend says, Lilith is where we have the strength, the capacity, and the drive in order to stand up for ourselves, in order to stand up for our rights, in order to speak up our own truth and go our own way. Just the same as Lilith, who just left Adam from the paradise and decided to have a chance into her own life. As the legend continues, it says that God has punished Lilith for running away, and there have been many theories about the type of punishments that Lilith had to endure. One of the punishments that is said that was given to Lilith is God taking her ability to have children, to making her barren. So she became the demon as a revenge. She became the demon of abortions, the demon of temptation, the demon that would tempt men into adultery. Another version say that God has killed, that Lilith had children with Adam, and God has killed all of her children. And as a revenge, Lilith has, after that, went into marrying a fallen angel, an angel that himself became the king of hell, and she became the queen of hell and gave birth to a herd of demons. So Lilith also in this way speaks to us to where we have been wronged, when we have faced some kind of injustice, where something that we consider that is ours, that belongs to us, has been taken away from us, and where we have this need for revenge, for justice, for getting what we want back. It speaks to us about authenticity, about true expression, about people not lying or trying to mask their needs and their wants, and having the courage to stand up for themselves, to stand up for their rights. However, the energy itself may come up as a little bit negative and destructive, because as these stories already explain, the energy itself, the expression itself are coming from a wounded place, from a place of lack, from a place of loss, from a place of feeling like some kind of injustice has been committed to us, something has been denied to us. So Lilith is a necessary force for us to have that roar to say, no, I'm not going to sit here and die. I'm going to fight for my rights. I'm going to fight for myself. I'm going to move myself from this point. I'm going to, if I'm backed into a corner, I'm going to fight myself out of it. So it's a primal instinctive and very needed survival energy, even though that the very expression of it, as I said before, can be a little bit destructive and negative because it's coming mostly from a wounded and suppressed place. And what happens when we have a bottle of champagne and we have the cork on it? This pressure in the bottle is bottling up, and then we take the cork out. This is how Lilith energy also sometimes expressed. It's something that has been so repressed and so pressed under that when we take the cork out, it can be a sort of an explosion, unfortunately. And another issue that I wanted to bring to the storefront is the fact that the Lilith point has been called Black Moon Lilith and not Dark Moon Lilith. This, I believe, it's not a coincidence. It's also quite cleverly done, because if Lilith is everything we try to suppress, we need to call attention to the ongoing issues in our society with racism, with somehow many groups and individuals that are from the white race consider themselves superior to people from the black race. And since the slavery time, there has been this ongoing attacks and issues with suppressing everything that is coming from the black race, and also with making an effort to keep the black race always with an image of being inferior or less than the white race. So calling Black Moon Lilith black is actually quite cleverly made, and it's talking to us not just about these ongoing issues with suppression of the black race, but also speaks to us, especially as the very legend says, about the patriarchy of our society, suppression of feminine power. In the sense that any woman or any female that goes her own way and fights for her needs and considers herself to be equal to men is shunned upon, is sometimes outcasted, it's sometimes attacked or considered less dignifying, less worthy, just because she wants to do things her own way. It speaks to us about what is our society tries to suppress. On one side, women empowered. For other side, the black race itself, which is quite cleverly made. Of course, I'm just trying to see at the words and analyze what they mean, connecting with our society issues. It may not have been done with this intent, but if you think about it, it makes quite a lot of sense. So Lilith in Libra. What will be the possible effects of Lilith in Libra, in my opinion? Well, in my opinion, Lilith and Libra, they are actually exactly the same energy. The only thing that changes is that Lilith is Libra in its shadow dark side, because Libra and Lilith has, oh my God, so much in common. So much in common, they may as well be the same energy, the same expression. And I will explain why. One of the things that Lilith and Libra have more in common is the need for justice. Although in Lilith this is called revenge, justice and revenge are just different words to explain the exact same thing. In one way, justice, we call it justice because in order to do justice, we use the social system and structures in place. We follow the rules of society in order to get what is owed to us, to correct the wrongdoing. But revenge, on the other hand, people go about it using their own hands. But etymologically speaking, if you analyze the effect and the intention of these two words, especially in intention, justice and revenge are exactly the same thing. So this is one of the major things that Lilith and Libra have in common. So Lilith going to Libra will be strongly expressing and activating this energy of us to correct something that has been done wrongly to us. This need for justice, this need for revenge. And of course, Libra in its higher vibration, it's very diplomatic. It wants to keep the peace. It says to people, please, somehow, because it wants everybody to get to a point where they have what they want. So there is harmony, there's peace, there is no conflict. But what happens when diplomacy fails? What happens when not everybody can get what they want? What happens when something has been wrongly done? Somebody has done some wrongdoing. Are we going to be diplomatic with them and sit and talk? No, because the dark side of Libra and its a side that many astrologers don't like to speak about, because it's not, maybe they don't even know, because the shadow side of Libra is not even being described in the books, which I think it's preposterous, honestly. But yeah, the dark side of Libra is not appearing in any books. And it's kind of a taboo topic, which is quite interesting, knowing that Lilith is going now into Libra. One of the dark sides of Libra is that Libra, being the sign of justice, it has the power and the strength to impose that justice. And because the part of applying the justice is to judge, is to give a sentence, is to give a sentence of life punishment, or even of a death punishment. So Libra, in its dark side, when it sees that the diplomatic efforts, the efforts to keep the peace and the harmony are not working, when Libra as an energy identifies that somebody is clearly guilty, that somebody clearly has done a wrongdoing, and there's no point talking that out, Libra will be very decisive, very cutthroat, very ruthless, and it can go to situations in which it can get violent, it can get aggressive, and it can even get to a point into getting into a full open war with continuous bellic attacks. So we may see more in our society people trying to get justice or revenge with their own hands instead of following the normal social steps in order to get that. There may be more people trying to get revenge with their own hands, trying to get justice with their own hands. So I hope I'm wrong, but I think that Lilith in Libra may bring a lot of conflict and even war. I know we already have situations in society, in the world, that have been going with war and conflict. However, Lilith is not so patient and diplomatic as Libra. So, and it is somehow the same as Libra wanting justice. So we may see a little bit of dimming down of not so much efforts with diplomacy and more direct bellic actions in the world. Another shadow side of Libra that Lilith may strongly activate, because it's also a part of Lilith, is Libra's power to persuade, to seduce, to convince with words, with appearance, with sexuality, with charisma. Libra has that in its higher vibration. It's very attractive sign, very beautiful sign. It's beautiful not just in the way it presents itself, it's also beautiful in the way it speaks. It speaks in a way to harmonize, to pacify, to convince. However, these qualities imbued in an individual or individuals that are angry, that don't have other people's best interest in mind, individuals who are only interested in getting what they want for themselves, or getting revenge, or getting their way, individuals imbued with this energy can become quite destructive. And this higher vibrational energy of Libra can be turned into manipulation. In manipulation using sexual power, manipulation using appearance, manipulation using words. It can become a type of energy that can brainwash masses and convince people of things that they would not convince themselves of in the first place. It can be so persuasive that would actually make you believe it was your own idea. So yes, and Lilith also has that. Lilith is known to be the seductive demon, the demon who tempts men into adultery. And she herself is a ruler of hell, a queen of hell. So we also may have this energy activated in Libra, because Libra ultimately, and this is also not taught a lot about astrologers, but Libra ultimately is a rulership sign, because it's connected with justice. It is connected with speech. It is connected with our capacity to express ourselves artistically, using appearance, using beauty. And because of this, it's connected with some of the powers of rulership in our world, which is the politicians, the media, the justice system, the entrepreneurs, the performance. All of those people have very activated energy of Libra. And Lilith is more more about getting what she wants by all means. So we may see a Libra energy that is not so concerned into getting consensus or diplomacy, that is more an energy that just wants to go after what it wants and ignore everybody else. If it cannot use people around it to get what it wants, it will just go in a bellic mode, cutthroat, to get what it wants. So in a positive side, we may have people with Libra energy more stepping up into rulership, into a leadership position, into taking the lead instead of being so diplomatic. In some cases, this can be tremendously destructive, but in other cases, it can be good, especially if you are the type of person that has the tendency to hold back too much, to let others take things first from you and not go after what you want, and you are stagnated into a place where everybody's progressing and you are being left behind. This energy may just be that necessary roar to give you the strength to go after what you want. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to stand up for ourselves. Other thing that Lilith may be activating in Libra is how we present ourselves into the world. This will be affecting especially Libras, because Libras will have Lilith in the first house of the body, but I think in general will be affecting all of us, because part of the Libra, superpower, it has to do with appearance, with the way Libras appear. Libras is an energy that wants to appear in a way to appease, in a way to please, in a way to be inside the social rules and norms of what is deemed acceptable. But Lilith is the queen of hell. She doesn't want to dress in a form that is confirmative. She doesn't want to look in a way that is like a good girl. Lilith is not the good girl. She ran away from Eden and she married a demon. So maybe in the way that we will start presenting ourselves and appear, because it is a quality, after all, of Libra that has to do with aesthetics and with appearance, maybe we will have a sense of aesthetic and appearance that it's much more rebellious, much more in your face, much more edgy, a little bit to the scorpionic side, and not so much glamour and harmony, that perfect look of Venusian look of Libra. So that Venusian beauty of Libra may turn a little bit more to the Akasha, the queen of hell type of style. So this should be interesting. Okay, I'm done.